Sometimes you just need a meal that feels hearty, comforting, but still on the healthier side. So that's why today we are going to make chicken meatball bowls here in the kitchen with Krystal. I am Krystal Taylor, the owner and CEO of Fitness is Not a Game, and I'm excited to make this one. I will say this: my mom's been gone for 15 years. One thing that I regret is that I did not get her meatball recipe before she left us, but that's okay. We're going to make our own today with a base of rice. You can choose whatever base you want, whether it's zoodles, which are zucchini noodles, some chickpea pasta, whatever. But the main thing is making our own meatballs from scratch. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands. And since I'm making a rice-based bowl, I'm going to go ahead and get my rice started first. I don't need a lot, so I'm just going to measure out a half a cup of rice. But this is what I'm going to do first. Let me go ahead and measure this out for us. Nope. You know what I'm going to do first? Let me tell y'all what I'm going to do first, because I need this thing. I'm trying to be pragmatic. A lot of people make their rice with water. Something I believe in doing here in the kitchen is cooking and seasoning. Well, seasoning at every level of cooking. So instead of using water when I'm using rice in a savory dish, I love to cook it with reduced chicken, reduced sodium chicken broth. You can use whatever flavored broth that you like, but I just believe it adds a little extra flavor. Hey, what's going on? Is it a gas station? Welcome. And for everybody else who's here, say hey. If you're catching this on replay, do me a favor and type replay in the chat. So I'm only going to make a half a cup of rice. So I'm going to use a cup of my broth. But then, y'all, we're going to take it one more step up if I can. See, I said I like to season at every level, right? So what I do is I season this here rice. Now, what am I going to use to season it? I'm going to use a little garlic and herb today. I'm going to use a little onion and herb. Well, I tell you, the onion powder, onion herb, all that good stuff, like a stick. And then I'm also going to throw a little bay leaf in there, just to give it a little extra, right? Because why not have a little extra, Because I don't need a big old bay leaf, because I'm not making a lot. I'm just making a little rice. There we go. That'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and range off my rice to get that extra starch off, and it will cook fluffy. So that's why I say I need this here cup, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out my half a cup of rice, put it in here, range it off, and then we're going to get this thing going. All right. So where are you? I am in the suburbs of Chicago, where the weather is still absolutely beautiful. Went for an amazing run this morning, so I'm happy about it. All right, so I'm just rinsing off my rice. We're gonna get this on. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna put the top on it, get it to boil, and then once it boils, we're gonna simmer it and let it do its thing. It'll take about 15 minutes for it to simmer the way we want it to, and by that time we'll be done making our meatballs. Good grief. Get it together, Krystal. Do you think that my brain will be completely clear today? Got a decent, nice rest. Got me a good run in this morning. But I guess, the tongue is catching up with the brain on today. All right, so rinse this off, getting the extra sediment off. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this on to get the rice to cook, since it's going to take the longest. All right, so I'm just going to put this in my pot. Put this top on. Now, this is the thing. When you're cooking rice, when you're boiling rice on the stove top, I need to get another rice cooker, a rice steamer, if they can go in the microwave. Don't have one at the moment, but make sure you keep your eye on it. Because one thing I can't stand is when that water gets to bubbling up and it gets all on your stove. Oh my goodness. All right. So if you just logged in, hey, this is Krystal Taylor, owner and CEO of Fitness Not Game. In the kitchen with Krystal, where we're making chicken meatball bowls. I am using rice as my base, but you can use whatever you like. You can use some zucchini noodles. You can use quinoa. You can just have it by itself if you want want to. But I want a little rice. Oh, chickpea pasta, whatever. All right, so I have my heat up on high so that it can get ready to boil. Keep my eye on that, and then I'll get ready to take that down so it can simmer. So what I'm using is for my chicken meatballs, of course, some lean ground chicken. The leaner you can get, right? And honestly, I can't remember last time I cooked with ground chicken. Usually do ground turkey, and honestly, this was going to be a ground turkey meatball recipe. And I said, you know what? I saw the chicken in the store, and I said, I think I'm going to use chicken. And I was going to wash my hands, but let me do some other nasty stuff first. We're going to use 1 egg to make these meatballs. Ooh, I'm sure don't want to get no shell in here. Uh-oh. That's a big clump, but luckily it's a big old clump of shell. Makes it easy to get out. Then I'm gonna wash my hands. Ooh, I just thought about something I want to add. Hey, why I didn't pull it out in the first place, I don't know. Tripping. Let me see what I got. Because one thing I do remember, my mom used to put, hey, there we go. Put a little onion in her meatballs. So what else I do have, we're going to add a little Italian seasoning. You want to use probably like a teaspoon or so, but you know, I don't too much measure. The ancestors tell me when to stop. That's way more than a teaspoon. So let me not say how much you're going to use. Then we're going to add some parsley. You can use fresh or dry, but here in the kitchen, we try to make it as easy and as simple as possible. So I use dried. We're going to add some minced garlic. Now, if you want to crunch up your own, if you want to slice your own garlic, all of this stuff, go for it. I just use the jar, so we're trying to make it easy. Then we're going to add, that garlic. That's a shame. I'm too excited. And then we're going to add some panko breadcrumbs, right? And we put the egg in there and the breadcrumbs. I'm gonna shake it up because it's seasoned. I got the Italian style. I told y'all I'm trying to add as much flavor as possible. Good grief, that smells amazing. For the binding sort of close, sort of seal. All right. So using probably about a half a cup of panko. And then, let's see, do I want anything else? Oh, I said my onion. Let me get my onion. Do I have to cut and do it ready? I do. So I may as well go ahead and use it to make it easier. So I'll cut my hand here live with y'all and go viral for the wrong reasons. Don't nobody have time for that. I'm just going to slice. Oh, come on, good night. Dice this up nice and thin. Well, that's what dice means. Yeah, get that good because we just want the flavor. We don't necessarily want the chunks of the onion. But when I tell you I love me some good cooked onion, baby. Alrighty then. And so I just did one thin slice of onion and just diced that up. And then we are going to mash these all up. And then we're going to make our balls. Yeah, I see. It's so sad. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and turn this skillet on so that it can start warming up. But I was telling somebody the other day that as the mother of boys, I'm a boy mom, and my boys are young adults. I'm a child because they act like children. Certain words you can't say without it eliciting some giggles, right? So, yeah. So we're going to round out, and you decide if you how big you want your meatballs to be for your dish. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put down my. It's boiling. Bam. So I turn down my rice. I have my rice going on the stove, and instead of water, I use reduced sodium chicken broth, and I seasoned it up. I added some garlic and herbs, some onion and herb. Also threw a bay leaf in there, so that way the white rice does not taste bland. We're adding seasoning at every level, y'all. We want to enjoy this. All right, so I have my olive oil out. The skillet is warming up. All I'm using is a pound of ground chicken. You can use turkey if you like. You can use beef, but we're trying to make a healthier version of this meal, right? One egg, some diced up onion, some Italian seasoning, some parsley. You know what? Sort of want to add a little oregano. Did I pull out my oregano? Where's my oregano? I'm gonna add a little oregano. It's funny, I add seasons sometimes. I don't even know really what the flavor palette is, but it be sounding fancy to me. So I do. But I know oregano is an Italian season anyway. But I'm just saying because I sort of want to throw some thyme in it. Sometimes I just smell it and I ask myself, "Oh, that smells right. That smells right for what I'm going for." All right. And you know what? Why not? Humor me. Because I do this a lot when that smells so good. When I'm using ground turkey, one of my tips is to add a Worcestershire sauce with ground turkey and ground turkey, just so it can add a little more flavor, especially for my people who struggle with transitioning over to turkey because you're so used to the flavor of the beef. The Worcestershire gives a little bit of that, right? Just gives you a little bit of, this feels like home and it feels familiar. So now I'm just mixing this all up. The Worcestershire smells amazing too. Does everything just smell amazing to me today? Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe. It's possible that I am hungry. So the egg and those panko breadcrumbs are in here for the binding. This does smell really, really good, y'all. Really, really good. So depending on the size of the ball, depending on the size of your meatballs, that's going to determine how quickly your meatballs cook, right? And even the aesthetics of what you want. And I'll say this, if you cook them, if you make bigger balls, I'm not going to get through this segment. Good grief. If you make bigger balls, you do want to probably cook them low and slow so that they don't brown up too quickly on the outside without being done on the inside. My goodness, y'all. I hope my children are not watching it because they will probably laugh at me. And it's funny that my children will tell me to grow up. Are you kidding me? First of all, no. I don't feel like adulting is overrated. It's ratchet. 1 star out of 5. Do not recommend. Sheesh. You know what? I'm excited about this. Because I always say, y'all I don't believe in a lot of regrets. I really don't have too many regrets at all. But I do regret not getting my mama's meatball recipe because I remember one time just sitting there watching her make it. And I just always loved her meatballs. And I should have asked her then, like, man, what's all in there? And I should have written it down. But I did not. But that's all right. I think she'll still be okay with these. She may not. She may talk trash. That's one thing I used to love. The things that I did get from her, the things I learned how to cook from her, I would love when I would try to outdo her. And I'll say this, I love me some good lasagna, right? She used to make an amazing lasagna. But boy, I outdid her with her lasagna, baby. And she didn't believe me until one day she tasted it and she looked at me and she was like, I was like, I got mama's approval. All right, so I got 13. Got me a little baker's dozen of meat. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse these hands off. And we're going to throw this olive oil. Well, we're not rinsing. We got to wash. But then we're going to throw this olive oil in the pan. Just drizzle lightly. And then we're going to drop these meatballs in here to get them ready. So I don't play with no salmonella. Let's take a quick sip, y'all. Did you take a sip of your water again? I hope so. All right. So good, quick little drizzle of the olive oil in our nice hot pan. And then we are going to start transferring our meatballs in here. And I don't know if each of them can fit. I may have to do two. That's all right. Because what we don't want is for them to get crowded. We want them to have their own space so that he can do what it's going to do and cook them evenly. Sounds amazing. Smells amazing. Earth. I think I can get another one up in here. Move these around a little bit. I might be able to get them all in here. I might. Let's go see, Blake. Why I keep speaking in Spanish today? No sé. I'm not even cooking a Spanish meal. There we go. We got them all in there. Rinse these hands again. They smell great. Get this bowl off the way. Gotta get the book out the way. And we're gonna take on this rice, and then we're gonna talk about what else we're going to do to assemble these bowls, right? They are gonna be super easy. We're gonna let these meatballs brown on each side for a few minutes at a time. Just to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Again, y'all, this is chicken. This ain't, and I said ain't, beef. So don't expect it to look exactly the same. It's not going to taste exactly the same. But that does not mean that you can't still enjoy it. The reason why I started this in the kitchen segment years ago, and I need to look to see how long I've been doing it and how many episodes there are. And by the way, if you have not yet, like and subscribe. So that way you get notifications each time that I'm live. And they will remind you to go back and look at some of the previous videos, right? Because there are hundreds of videos. And I started doing this because so many people, the majority of people, as they're trying to lose weight and get healthier in general, they struggle with food. They said, Krystal, I don't know what to eat in order to stay on track, but still enjoy my food without feeling like I'm constantly eating baked chicken and steamed broccoli. It does not have to be baked chicken and steamed broccoli all the time. There are a variety of things. And it's not about clean eating. It's about making better decisions when you can. So if you can use chicken as opposed to beef and save some of those extra calories and the extra fat, why not? Right? So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to go ahead and get my bowl out. And honestly, I wish I had another. I got a tiny pot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get me some sauce together. I'm just going to use a little pasta sauce. You use whatever you like, whichever one you like. I like a good mushroom. But what I'm going to do is, because we're going to, it's meatballs. So yeah, we want some sauce. So I'm going to, I told you I season at every level. This time, instead of just using the herbs, I'm going to add some of the powders. So my garlic and herb, a little bit of my onion herb. Y'all, this smells amazing already over here. It sounds even amazing. Herb. Add a little more garlic powder because I enjoy some garlic in my pasta. Just a smidget though. And then, just like we did for meatballs, we're going to add some Italian seasoning. We're going to add a little bit of oregano. And we're just going to warm this up a little bit. All right. Where did my oregano go? There it is. All right. Add me a little oregano. And we're just going to put this on the stove and let it warm up just a little bit while everything else is doing what it's doing. We don't need it to be cold. Y'all, it smells so good up in here. You better chicken meatballs. I am here for it. Oh, the rice is doing this thing over here. Bubbling, smelling all good. And you can decide how much of this you want to make, right? And, speaking of, let's see what you within the kitchen, the whole premise is to make meal prep easier. Let's talk about meal prep, shall we? Meal prep does not mean that you have to have, you know what, I think, stop looking at me, I think I'm going to use my phone. Meal prep does not mean that you have to have every meal prepared for the week. Meal prep means that you are prepared, there we go, for a future meal and or snack. So one of my favorite meal prep tips is to simply make more. So I'm making this right now, and this could easily be a few people at once, or it could feed me a few times. So depending on what your situation is, even if you're making food for multiple people, you can still make a little bit more so that when it's done, you can go ahead and pull some to the side so that you can save it for your next time that you want to eat, or have something to pack up and take to lunch for work, as opposed to spending money at work and or making decisions that don't align with what you say your health goals are, because not only are you spending extra money, you're also eating extra calories and consuming extra fats. So cooking more ahead of time puts you ahead of the game. Bloop, bloop. And they look so pretty. They smell so wonderful. I'm going to let them do what they do. Everything is just simmering and cooking. I think I can get this out the way now. And we need to stir this sauce, because what we don't want is sauce bubbling and popping every day along with pop, locking, and dropping. Let me taste to see what I want. Oh, can we talk real quick? As I was about to get ready to taste this sauce, my people, my people, my people, if I like it, oh, I know what I want. All right, let me finish, because somebody needs to hear this. My people, if you are one of those who puts sugar in your spaghetti, please stop it. Please, because you don't need to. It's already sugars in them, and you're probably putting them on a pasta putting it on a pasta that already has extra sugars. Stop adding all that extra sugar. It's not meant for that. All right? So I'm adding a little bit of table flavor, because what I realized I want in my life is a little more like a peppery spice kick without it being hot per se. Because we are going to add a little spice, a little kick, but I felt like it needed a little bit of pepper. Give me a little spoon while these meatballs keep cooking, smelling all amazing. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Turn it down even lower, because it's actually warm. I just want it to stay warm. And let me see about these meatballs. Some of them are bigger than others. So I'm going to make sure I'm turning them on the side now, just to make sure they're cooking very well. Because what we don't have time for is what? Salmonella. You got to cook your meat completely. Don't be all greedy and in a rush. It's like, oh, that's enough. Lies you tell. Your butt end up somebody's hospital or the toilet, and not for the good reason either. Goodness, and yes, I said what I said. All right, get these to stand up. And for the most part, they look like they are cooking all the way through. I just want to make sure. Because these are basically like little burgers, but they're not. You want to make them sliders, can. You know what? Thinking about it, this could be a cute little slider recipe. I'm using the same ingredients to make sliders. And so what y'all can't see that I'm doing, since I'm cooking them, they're standing them all up on the side. Now they're able to all share the perimeter of the pan so that they cook evenly. fun. I'm so excited. It's my first time I make meatball, and I feel so excited. So excited. There we go. That needs to cook. All right, stand up. All right. Boy, this is. Some of them don't want to stand up. They're like, girl, with balls. That's a shame I could not say that word without thinking about my children. Tell me your boy mom without telling me your boy mom. All right, so I'm gonna let those cook a few more minutes, and we're gonna talk about how we're going to assemble this. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick sip. All right, so you can top this with whatever you want, right? Like, so for, now think of it as an Italian dish. So because of that, I love some little Parmesan. Now you can do grated or shredded, however you want. I love a good grated, and I find one that has Romano with it. And then because I love a little spice all the time, I would like to add a little crushed red pepper to mine. So meatballs are basically done. Oh, rice looks like it's done as well. Let's see about it. Let's see. Oh, that's a little warm. That's a little warm. Oh yeah. It's ready. It's ready. Y'all ready? Now this is the thing. Because we added our bay leaf in here, make sure you take your bay leaf out before you plate. You don't need to keep the bay leaf. Get on out of there. All right. So now let's put this together. Super easy. We'll use our rice for, oh, I just love how pretty the rice looks when you add the extra seasoning. And this is just regular white rice. You do not need to, hit me with the aroma. Come on. You don't have to go buy those mixes. You see that? Look at that. Just pretty. Color, flavor. Saves you some money and some time. And you control how much sodium. And I use all no salt seasonings. So you get to control how much sodium you have in your life too. Because a lot of those pre-seasoned boxes of rice and stuff, they have so much extra sodium in them. So this way you get to control that. All right. So we're gonna put our rice there. Meatballs are for the most part done. So I'm gonna grab just a few of them. They pretty. They pretty. You see it. You get some of the pretty ones. The ones are nice and brown. There we go. Let me give me another. Let's see what. Oh, that's pretty. See that? I'm gonna show y'all the each step. See? So now I added my meatballs. It's so funny because they look like little what's that? Scallops, but they're not. All right, now I'm gonna add me some saucy sauce. Just you don't even need a lot because we have flavor and seasonings on all the levels already. Y'all want to see? Want to see? See? Yeah, now we got our sauce. And now, if you want to add some Parmesan, you want to get fancy and shred yours. I wish I had some shredded, but I'll take my grated. My Parmesan with Romano, then a little bit of crushed red pepper. Well, to me, the spice of the pepper. So, you see? That's from what I tasted so far. All right, let's taste it. It's hot. You know me, I want a little bit of everything. Look at that. Ooh, look at that meatball. Look at that on the inside. You see that? You see all that flavor and aroma. Meatball. Got my sauce, my cheese, my rice, and my pepper. Make sure we blow it. Because what y'all not gonna do having me scald my mouth on here. Wait a minute. It started, I was like, this is good. And I'm like, oh, this is fire. Okay, then, wait a minute. See the little hip shinning? And that second bite, well, I gotta make sure that wasn't a fluke. That is good. So, you know when it's real good, that means I'm getting out of here so I can eat. Make sure you try this. This is so good. That pepper just went down my throat. But that's so good. And you know what? I like the fact that it's rice because then it doesn't feel as cumbersome to eat as pasta can. Sometimes you know all the swirl. You just get your fork full and keep on going, but it's nice, light, but it's still hearty and comforting and relaxing at the same time. But it's on the healthier side as well. So y'all, you've been in the kitchen with Krystal. I am Krystal Taylor, and we just made a flavorful chicken meatball bowl where I use rice as my base. You can use noodles, you can use zucchini noodles, whatever you like, but it was real quick, real easy. Make more so that you have some extra for the next day and you are Gucci. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. When you make yours, let me know how you made yours, what you did. And let me see a video of you tasting it because I want to see your reaction to see if it's just like mine. So make sure you like, subscribe. I will see you next time in the kitchen. Please continue to drink your water. And if you have to go outside, please be safe because I just want you healthy. I want you happy and I want you here. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye.